Good morning from South Dakota. We're just across the border this morning. Nice brisk morning, right above freezing. And we are on a site of a new pivot. We got this one. This one was put up over the winter by a contract crew that we had come in. And there's another one. Just barely see it poking out over the ridge over there. So we got two of them in the same field. And we need to put a cement pad right in here for this to sit on as an anchor. So I've already rechecked our center point with our GPS, so that's the coordinates for exact center of this pivot. And when we move it over, that'll sit right on top of the center, and then we can hook up our pipeline and finish the electrical hookups, because the well is way over there. That's where the power and the water are going to come from. They come up the hill to this pipe, and then they go underground half mile that way to that irrigator over there. So it's quite a setup here, but that's what we had to do because the water is just over there. It's not close to the pivots. So we'll get the equipment started and warmed up and unloaded, and then we'll get started. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is just scrape some of the topsoil off. You gotta remember what this is. This is just an anchor. We're not putting any or much weight on it. Nobody's ever going to be driving over it. It's not a foundation for a structure. It's an anchor. So we don't need to scrape all of the black dirt off and put some class 5. We don't have to do any of that. We just need to get rid of the loose soil on top so you've got a evenly compacted base, and then we'll set our forms. So first thing to do is just scrape it off a little bit without disturbing our center point. So that's what we'll do now. All right, that's good enough for that. Next thing we'll do is get our form boards set up, get them square. Our boards are on the trailer there. We're going to make this 12'6" square. Okay, so we got our pins in our four corners to keep it in place. And now we're going to check so it's on the same plane. It's okay if it is level, but I don't want it to be twisted. I want it all to be either this way, or this way, if you understand. So it's okay if it's sloped, so we got leaky gaskets or whatever, that water will run off, but it doesn't have to be perfectly level. It'll be about 3/4 of an inch low on this corner. So, I mean, it's not a lot, but it is leaning, and that's okay. Next, we'll put some pins in the middle of the forms to keep it from bowing out. Don't do this anymore because the forms aren't going anywhere. So the next step we're going to do is we're going to drill holes in each corner, and that acts as piers in each corner. A little more strength so the slab can't just slip around, but also so it doesn't pull out as easy. And that's where we put our anchors. So I use my handy dandy measuring tool here. Find where the hole needs to be. So right where they cross. hole there. Give something to aim for, and also so that the auger has someplace to start in. Alright, next is to get the auger hooked up and drill some holes. I had a little trouble getting the hoses hooked up, but I thought I'd show you this anyway. This is not a factory unit, as you can probably tell. This is a auger head from a Digger Derrick, like a utility company boom truck with the auger on it. We just adapted it to kind of crudely, but to slip on a fork. And then made another adapter to take just a standard, just a 12-inch auger. And it is slow, which is fine for what we're doing. But it is powerful. So it will dig through just about anything. And it will actually hold the dirt, carry it out of the hole, and then we clean the bit off out of the hole, which is, we want an empty hole. Faster augers are self-cleaning, which can be nice, but then it just throws it all around the edge of the hole, which we don't always want. But then they don't have the power when you hit a rock to keep going. So there's advantages and disadvantages of each type. Having battery problems again. I don't know if you saw that, but you can see why we like using a telehandler over a skid because I'm in and out all the time, and it's really easy to slip right inside door there, and you're right back at it. Skid loaders, you're climbing all the way out, auger on, and the boom's up in the air. It's not safe. Yada yada. So we really like the change his battery out again. One more hole. All right, well, got, well, you can't see it down there at all, can you? Oh, anyway, they're about 4 feet deep. Now the hard part starts. We're going to dig a thickened edge just to give that the edge of the concrete a little more strength because the concrete will crack. It's concrete. And the frost will push on in different places. So they just give it a little more strength around the outside edge and a little bit of a rodent barrier. Try to keep some of the mice or other vermin from crawling underneath it. It's a lot of shovel work, so. And you're probably wondering if you could even see what I was doing over there. You're probably wondering why I'm throwing it in the middle. And the reason for that is our forms are 5.5 inches, they're 2x6s. And we only want 4 inches of concrete in the center. So we're using that as fill. Rides on the form boards with the 2x4 sticks down inside. So then after it's compacted, we'll have 4 inches. So this is just a long process of digging and filling. I'm going to turn it on time lapse. Okay, so we have all the thickened edge dug out, and as you can probably see, since there's still room underneath that board, we need to fill some more of this in. So I'm going to take some of the dirt that we took out of the holes and with the auger, and I'm going to put it back in the middle, a little bit around the edge to fill in. Probably wondering why I wear these sunglasses all the time, right? It's because when I take them off, then I'm squinting all the time, and then I get tension headaches, and it's no fun. So get used to it. So I got all my holes filled up. You can see it's pretty loose stuff here yet, and that way, when we pack it down a little bit, it'll be 4 inches in the middle here. It's okay that we're a little low in places around the holes. It'll just get a little more concrete there. But now we're going to hook the bucket bag up to the telehandler and do a little bit of packing. I'm not going to do too good of a job, because then everybody will think I'm a professional concrete guy, and I'm not. Now, is that as good as a vibratory packer? Nope, not even close. Is it good enough for this? Yep, absolutely. Remember, this is not a foundation. This is an anchor. So next thing we're going to do is put a little bit of rebar in, and I mean a little bit. We want to hold this together when it cracks, but if we get a big windstorm, we want this to rip out, and then we want to be able to tear it apart and put a new pad in. And the reason for that is that when we have windstorms, and we do sometimes, it'll flip the irrigator over, and the stronger this is, the more damage it'll do to the rest of the irrigator. And then we still have to jackhammer this pad apart before we put a new one in, because it will still wreck the pad. It may not make sense, but the wind is so strong and there's so much force on it that it will wreck the pad. So here we go. We're going to add a little bit of rebar. We're going to do a crisscross across the middle and down in the holes, and then we're going to do one ringer on the outside. And that's it. My rebar bender. And we want to go just to the middle of these holes. I know that's not enough rebar for any engineer. It's not enough rebar for any respectable concrete company. It's enough rebar for me. And so we have a complete, once I tie these together, We'll have a complete ring around the outside, and yes, we will tie that to get corner together. And tie this together. We'll have a complete ring around the outside, and then we'll have an X from our hole to our hole, and that'll tie the center together. And then one other thing is we bend a piece of rebar and have it come out here for our electric code, to meet our electric code. So we have a concrete encased electrode, or grounding electrode. Yeah, that's the right term. We will also put a ground rod in, but so that way we have two ground electrodes. All right, well, I will tie this together, and then we'll be done with this one and move on to the next.